Hey everyone, welcome to the results video of the compact inverted coaster Ride Creation Contest. In this contest, all the players had to build a compact inverted coaster. So it could be one of your typical Vekoma Suspended Looping coasters, or you could think of a Giant Inverted Boomerang, but basically all the kinds of coasters that can be represented with this particular track type. So yeah, we got 17 entries this round. I'll show all of them. I'll start with the one that got the lowest score, and I'll finish by announcing who's the winner of this round. Right in 17th place we have this entry from Mercy Faye, a newcomer on my Discord. And Mercy Faye just built the typical inverted giant boomerang model from Vekoma, but just repainted it. Also just a little bit of a queue next to it. Not really anything special in terms of the station building. Now I did give Mercy Faye some suggestions for some changes, and he said that they were good ideas and that he would resubmit, but Mercy Faye never did. So yeah, since it's not really groundbreaking and it's just a standard layout, that's probably why the voters gave Mercy Faye the lowest score. Okay, the next entry is from Gabriel the Trash Cat. Gabriel the Trash Cat made this compact inverted coaster over here. So it starts off nicely as the sea serpent roll, then a loop, and then after that there's a pretty low mid-course brake run. Personally, I don't think the mid-course brake run is really necessary. Well, first of all, it takes really long for the coaster train to pass it. It's really slow here, and then after that there's just a tiny drop and two more inversions. Probably would have been nicer to just use the speed that the trains still have over here and to make a cool layout over here with some taller inversions. At least that's something that I would do. Now also some buildings here, some sets. What a lot of people really didn't like is that there's just these black cutouts, and there's not even been made an attempt to make it look like it's part of the landscape. Probably would have been nicer to just lower the land here and actually make it look like cliffs, rather than this abrupt change into black. It just doesn't look very nice. Alright, the next entry is from Timmerman, another newcomer on my Discord. Timmerman made this small suspended looping coaster over here. So it just starts with a cobra roll, then a double loop, and then back into the station. Now, of course, it's not the most spectacular of layouts, but for a beginner, I think this is an alright layout. I would for sure ride this coaster. Now, as for the rest of the park, it's a nice little beach setting. I kind of like this path over here with this, this railing. I think it looks pretty nice. Over here we have these beach beds, kind of like how I did them in Duckling Mega Park, also with the same style of umbrellas. I think it works pretty well. Here we have a little pier with the Ferris wheel, and here we have some swan boats on the water, and also a lot of ducks. Right, the next entry is from LOL69. LOL69 made this compact inverted coaster, which is themed to Back to the Future. No, it doesn't really have a station, and parts like this over here just look slightly undecorated. So probably this could have been made to look a little bit more interesting. But yeah, as for the coaster, it goes up this tall lift hill, then goes down. Here's the first inversion, here's the second inversion. No, over here there's a long section without any supports. Not really sure if that's a good idea. It kind of looks like the track is just floating here. Also some buildings over here. But when I make some buildings, I think it's usually a good idea to at least give it some windows or just some features to make it stand out a bit. And large surfaces of the same material just usually doesn't look very interesting. So yeah, that definitely could have been spiced up a bit, I think. But yeah, there's some fun details here and there. But yeah, for sure, this entry would have scored a lot higher, I think, if it was just decorated a bit more. Right, next entry is from Diva Donny 05. He's also a newcomer on my Discord. Lots of newcomers this round. That's always nice to see. I hope at least a few of these guys stick around. That would really be nice. But yeah, I think Deja Vu made quite a nice layout. Here you can see the lift hill, also with some wooden coaster track below it as a catwalk. Deja Vu also merged in some B&M inverted coaster track to make these large loops. I think that's also a good idea, also for this Cobra roll. I think the layout of this coaster actually is pretty nice. As for the decoration, yeah, I think that definitely could have been improved a bit. It's mostly still just grass. Of course, there are some trees here and there, and there's just small patches of other scenery. For example, here's just some random candy trees. Here's some random spooky stuff. Yeah, I think it's better to try to incorporate your theming much more if you're building something in a themed area. For example, these candy trees, I don't think they really fit here in the grass. If you're going to put stuff like this, it's probably better to put it closer to the ride to which it belongs. So probably closer to the queue here, and really try to make it look like one cohesive area. But yeah, of course, that's just something that you will learn as you play this game more, and also if you join more contests like these. But yeah, overall, I think the layout of this coaster is pretty nice. Alright, then in 12th place we have this entry from Widget Kitty. Widget Kitty made this insane coaster, which travels underground for a large part of the ride. Here you can see it travel up the lift hill. Let's speed it up a little bit. But yeah, it travels underground several times. It's called the rabbit squirrel. So probably that's why it does that. You can see it pop out of the ground every now and then. Now I always advise people not to put large sections of their coaster underground. It's much nicer if you can follow them above ground. At least generally that's the case. Now, as for the decoration, I think it's actually quite nice. I love this big building over here. That looks really cool. You also see a train going around. I think that also looks pretty nice, especially with this bridge here. Yes, just generally some nice buildings, decorations here. I also like these autumn colored trees. That's also pretty nice. Maybe would have been nice if there were some more bushes just below the trees, just to fill it up a little bit more. But yeah, overall, I think Widget Kitty made a pretty nice area. Alright, next entry is from Jacco Walraven. Now, he did something really cool. The station for this coaster is over here. But the train actually gets transported by this train to the lift hill. So yeah, you can see the trains getting transported here. And here the train dips underground, and the train gets attached to the track. Yeah, I think this is actually super cool. It's a really nice trick, and definitely makes this entry stand out from the others. And then here's the layout of the ride. Just your typical loop followed by a Cobra roll, and then twisting back and forth. I believe there's one more inversion. Maybe it would have been nice if there were a few more inversions. This coaster type typically has quite a few of those. But yeah, the coaster has a fun start with this train, but after this first set of inversions, it just gets pretty slow, and then probably the second half of the ride definitely could have been spiced up a little bit more. For the rest of the park, nice and dense decoration. A tip that I would give to the creator is to try and find some tree colors that mix together better. For example, this white, I think it would have looked nicer if it was more the same color as these other trees. For example, if we color it maybe like this, I think it's closer together, and that maybe would have worked better. Maybe, or maybe these trees should have been different. But yeah, as for trees, I always advise people to try and find tree colors that fit well together. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty cool park, and definitely the trick here with this train is just super cool. Right, here's the entry from Kazrag. I believe he hasn't entered any of my previous contests yet, so it's always nice to see a newcomer. Yeah, I think this entry really looks cool. That's a really cool vibe with all these dark ruins, and also this purple and pink foliage. Kind of gives me the Misery March vibe from Imagination Mega Park. But yeah, here the coaster travels over these what looks like floating islands, or maybe they're asteroids. I think the coaster layout is actually quite fun, although it does have a few pacing issues. For example, over this inversion it just goes really slow. But yeah, I do think it looks really cool, and it's fun to watch it travel over these islands and through these ruins. Now here we can see some more of these ruins. I think some really cool tricks were used here. I really like the style of these buildings, but also some of the rides are really fun, like this top spin, of which the arms have been made invisible. I think that looks that's a really cool idea. And also just some of the other stuff here is also really nice. So yeah, it's wonderful to see Kazrak join the contest. Alright, here's the entry from Lycos Gen. Now, he hasn't joined any contest for around 4 years, so it's nice to see him come back. And I think he made a really cool looking compact inverted coaster. Again, a loop followed by a cobra roll. By the way, I really like this diagonal lift hill. I think it looks really nice. Also with the wooden track below it. But again, after these first 3 inversions, the coaster is basically just a set of helixes. And maybe also this brake run here wasn't really necessary, because it still has quite a bit of speed here in the beginning. And I think with that speed, Lycos Gen could have given the coaster a few more inversions. So for example, instead of this mid-course brake run, maybe you could have fitted an inline twist to make it sort of look like a 0G roll. And maybe a corkscrew or 2 here at the end would have also been nice. But yeah, still, I do think it looks pretty nice. Also, the palette that he used is pretty fun. I once used it in a River Rapids contest that I entered to make milk. So it's nice to see it be reused every now and then. Now, he also made these really cool gingerbread figures. And also, I really like this train here in the landscape. That's also really cool. Now, something which I would advise is to always try to watch out with colors that are very saturated, like this white. Because I think, it makes these roofs look a little bit too bright. Probably a color that was a little bit more toned down probably would have been a little bit better for these roofs. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really fun looking entry. Right, here's the entry from TechnoKibi91. Now, I think this entry has a really cool vibe. I quite like the colors that it has. Kind of looks like jungle, overgrown, kind of a Jurassic theme. Also with these bones here. I think that's all really cool. Also, the palette does give the guests some weird colored faces. Kind of grayish. Maybe they're zombies? I'm not sure. But yeah, here's the coaster from TechnoKibi. It travels up the lift hill here. Then it actually has a vertical drop. Then a big B&M loop over here. And then it travels through the rest of the layout. It also has some sudden drops deep underground, which is an interesting choice. I quite like the coaster. There were just a few things that I liked a little bit less. And that's, for example, we have this part of the track here with this wooden catwalk under it. But the track doesn't actually have any supports here. So it's just as if the track is just floating above the wooden track. And the same actually happens here at the end. So some custom support here would have probably made it look a little bit nicer and a little bit less floaty. But yeah, the rest of the wooden or the custom supports over here look really nice. So yeah, overall I think this is just a great entry. Alright, here's the entry from Ava, previously known as Maxa. Yeah, Maxa or or Ava. He hasn't joined any contests in quite a long time, so it's always nice to see people return. Ava made this pretty cool looking compact inverted coaster with these black and white colors. It's always nice to see people use some funky color schemes. It also has some interesting supports, which are here all over the place. Now, it's a very noisy entry. It's just filled to the brim with buildings and trees. I really like these buildings. I think they look really cool. Also over here, and here's more of these buildings. Yeah, that's really something that I still know from the previous entries. Ava always used to like to build huge structures. Now, I already said it looks a little bit noisy. That's probably because of all the different colors and how dense this entry is. Yeah, if it maybe was a little bit more calm, maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But still, I do think this entry is really nice. I think the coaster layout is pretty cool, and all the buildings look great as well. Alright, then in 6th place we have the entry from Lurker. No, Lurker never disappoints. He made quite a compact map with a compact coaster as well. But yeah, of course they're called a compact inverted coaster for a reason. So yeah, just a curved drop, followed by a double loop. Then here there's a double corkscrew. And finally here's another corkscrew, followed by a helix, before it returns back to the station. I think Lurker built this coaster just like... yeah, this coaster is supposed to be built. And just like how you would find them in a real situation. Although, maybe in a real situation, probably they wouldn't go so close over the path. But yeah, I do think that's some great interaction moments here. I like that you can actually see some guests watching the coaster here. So yeah, it has some nice interaction moments here and there. I think it just looks wonderful in this landscape. And yeah, in typical Lurker fashion, just lots of tiny buildings throughout the park, some other attractions. And we also find this reverse freefall coaster here. But yeah, just a wonderful entry from Lurker, great landscaping, great buildings. Yeah, everything you would expect from a Lurker entry. Alright, the next entry is from Johnson. Now, I think this entry looks incredible. Here you can see the compact inverted coaster go up the lift hill. The support structure here looks insane. I love how Johnson made it. And coaster travels down here. Again, some of these B&M coaster elements here. This huge cobra roll. Now, what I like about this coaster, it actually also has some reversing sections. For example, over here, it partly goes up this hill, and then it actually reverses, and then it goes through some of the track backwards, also through this loop. And here's another spike where it once again reverses. So yeah, pretty fun layout, not too realistic, but yeah, it does have some insane supports. I love all the support structures that you can see over here. I love this giant pit in the middle which the coaster sits in. And you also have some balconies over here where actually guests can sit down, eat something, and also view the coaster. Now below here there's also some tigers running around. I think that's also really fun. And yeah, the other attractions and buildings in this park also look amazing. So yeah, I think Johnson really outdid himself here. This park just looks wonderful. Yeah, I cannot possibly cover everything there is to see in this park in this short video. So I definitely recommend you to go check out these entries for yourself. You can find them on my Discord server, and Discord is completely free. Alright, here's the entry from Nutty's Dreamland. Nutty's Dreamland made this beautiful coaster. I love this color, by the way. And also has some beautiful supports along the track. and it travels all throughout this what looks like a village with flowers on the roof. And yeah, I believe Nutty's Dreamland said that the coaster was more or less based on how Vekoma makes their suspended looping coasters these days. So yeah, more focus on airtime and usually several inversions and less headbangy. Yeah, I think these buildings actually look really nice. And also these other attractions, these towers, but also all these arches. I think it's just really fun to take a tour through this village. Also some really fun tricks were used, like using these candy canes here as supports for this roof. I think that also looks pretty cool. Yeah, and I thought the coaster was also really fun to follow. Also some other interesting stuff happens in the map, like this waterfall here on the edge. And yeah, everywhere you look there's just fun stuff happening. Oh yeah, this is also really cool. Here's one of these airplane rides. So you can actually see all these guests get swung around this tower here. Yeah, I think Natty's Dreamland did an absolutely fantastic job in this park. Alright, here's the entry from Shen Kitchen. No, Shen Kitchen said he dedicated this entry to Elena. No, I don't know who Elena is, but Shen Kitchen said she's 8 or 9 years old and she's one of my viewers. So I think that's reason enough to dedicate an entry to Elena. And Shen also said I should give Elena a shout out. So hi Elena. Shout out to you. But yeah, this was one of my favorite entries of the round. I think Shen did an absolutely amazing job with this compact inverted coaster. I think it looks amazing. Lift hill looks nice, but also this first cobra roll, also this support structure, and this evacuation stairs over here. There's some really nice supports as well. I quite like how this goes. These loops are supported above the queue here. That looks pretty nice. The buildings in this map are just incredible. I love this station building for the ride. Yeah, everywhere you look, there's just cool stuff. I really like this river that runs through the entry. Landscaping, really nice. Also a really cool looking wooden coaster called Elena's Coaster. These dodgems, I think they're also done really nicely. There's actually 2 dodgems right next to each other, but it looks like it's just one. I think that's also a really cool trick. And here's something which I also really enjoyed. Shen actually used one of these inverting swinging ships here as decoration for this building. Yeah, it's just such a cool entry. Shen just did an amazing job. Alright, there's just 2 entries remaining. I will first show both of them and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of this round. Okay, here's the entry from Kanaifa and Wes. And they teamed up to make this incredible looking compact inverted coaster. Station is incredible. That's this really nice pagoda. But also the layout of this coaster. I think it's really nice. I love this first curve drop. Then it has this loop followed by a cobra roll. Here's another inversion. Here there's a coast through and then another inversion. A final helix before it returns back to the station. Yeah, I think this is what your typical compact inverted coaster layout should look like. It has a nice speed and yeah, it just has a good number of inversions throughout the track. And it takes all of these inversions at a good speed as well. So yeah, I think Kanaifa and Wes did an incredible job in this map. Now these buildings throughout the map, I think they also look incredible. Also some nice looking rivers, the foliage throughout the map is nice. These bridges, they look insane. Now I also really like how they did the curved paths over here. Although maybe it would have been wise to add some fences above these paths. Because it now looks like the guests could actually just walk straight into the coaster here. Because there's nothing really stopping them. So maybe a layer of steeplechase coaster track above this fence would have already made it look a little bit safer. But yeah, Knife and Wes just did an incredible job. Alright, and here's the final entry of the round. This is the entry from the Brew. And the Brew made this giant mall. Now here we can see the roof of the mall. We can actually only see it from this angle. It's all diagonal track pieces which become invisible when looked at from another angle. But yeah, if you look at the outside of the mall, here we can see Dick's Sporting Goods. There's just fun little details everywhere, like these people pushing these carts. There's some other stuff happening here on the outside. I cannot cover it all since that would make this video too long, but let's just take a quick look inside of the mall. Now here we can see the compact inverted coaster. It's actually a launched compact inverted coaster. I believe it's the only launched one of this contest. But it gets launched on this straight track over here, up this hill, and down into this sea serpent roll. Then after that travels through several other inversions throughout the track. Yeah, it's just such a nice looking coaster, and the supports are also incredibly well done. The Brew did an amazing job on these custom supports. Now it's also kind of Christmas themed, so we have this big Christmas tree over here. There's this big carousel under the coaster. I think that's also really cool. Also some palm trees over here. But yeah, the coaster, I think it's just a joy to follow it throughout the mall. Now in the mall there's also of course lots of different shops. Not going to show all of them, but here we have Victoria's Secret, also with some advertisements over here. Chipotle, Panda Express, etc, etc. It's just so nicely done. I think the Brew really outdid himself here. Yeah, it's just so fun to explore this mall and see everything that was built here. And we also have Dance Dance Revolution with a cool dude. But yeah, the Brew just did an amazing job in this mall. And definitely go and download this entry for yourself and check it out. There's just so much cool stuff to be seen here. Alright, now it's time to reveal which one of these last two entries is the winner of this round. Is it the shopping mall from the Brew? Or is it the Asian entry from Kanaifa and Wes? And the winner of the compact inverted coaster contest is... the Brew! Now, there was actually quite a high score difference between these last two entries. I believe the Brew got the highest score I've ever seen in a ride creation contest. So yeah, that's just incredible. Must have taken quite long to construct all of this, and I'm glad he didn't go insane while building this, so we can still see other work from him in the future. But yeah, he did say he's a little bit burnt out, and I can fully understand that after building such a thing. But yeah, we got lots of beautiful entries in this round. Also quite a few newcomers, which is always nice to see. So yeah, I already said it earlier, but I hope to see some of these newcomers stick around. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like this video, and if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.